Post 1. The cabin, the trust, and the reunion pitch. I have always told myself that leaving at 18 made me tough. I graduated on a Friday, packed a duffel on Saturday, and by Sunday night I was on a borrowed futon 2 towns over with a prepaid phone and a stack of applications. I told myself I was choosing independence. The honest part is that there was nothing to stay for. My grandmother Nora was the only person who made home feel like a home. She passed when I was 16. After that, the house felt like a place where my mother Lorna and my aunt and uncle loudly counted what I cost. Grandma left a will that everyone called simple. There was a small education trust for me with restricted use for tuition and books. There was also her lake cabin. I was supposed to have the right to live there during school or sell it after I finished, but only after a certain date and only with safeguards. I was a teenager, and adults told me the lawyer would take care of everything. 6 months later, the cabin was gone. The explanation changed depending on the day. My mother said taxes. Uncle Ray said market timing. Aunt Maureen said I was too young to be saddled with responsibility. The education trust was gone too, used for the household in a way that made my stomach twist, as if I had eaten it like a meal and should now be grateful. I left with a folder of photocopies and more shame than anger. I did what people do. I worked double shifts, I scanned Craigslist, I found a warehouse that let me take home damaged boxes to sort. I sold what was salvageable online. That grew into flipping liquidation pallets, which became a tiny storefront. Then a logistics play when I realized I was better at moving products than picking them. I learned to build a last-mile route by hand at a cheap kitchen table. I learned to write emails that sounded steady even when my hands shook. I learned how to invoice. I learned that if you act like your words are worth reading, sometimes people read them. It has been 10 years. I am 30. The company is healthy. We handle last-mile deliveries for regional e-commerce brands. We went from one rented van to a small fleet with real insurance and morning stand-ups where people joke about coffee. I pay myself a salary that would have sounded like a fairy tale to the girl on the futon with the prepaid phone. I still keep Grandma's recipe card for lemon bars taped inside a cabinet because it makes the office kitchen feel less like a set. 3 weeks ago, I received a text from my mother that said we were having a family reunion at Aunt Maureen's house on Sunday. No details. I stared at it for a long time. Over the years, I have sent birthday texts and tried short, safe phone calls. I have also been the recipient of long messages about how I am ungrateful. This was the first invitation that sounded neutral. I told myself I could be polite and leave early. I brought dessert. It felt like the right shape for a boundary. The living room was crowded. Aunt Maureen hugged me like a guest and said